So very good evening to you all. Sri Kumar Swami Mahavidyalaya Avsa, District Latur in Maharashtra is organized an international e-conference as well as the World Record Series 2 and also National E-Conference. Today is a special day, that is World Environmental Day. So through the session, we are going to celebrate this day, this event today. And the keynote speaker for today's session is on dais, Honorable Dr.Shetkar Channappa ma'am. So first of all, a heartily welcome to you ma'am. I welcome the chief organizer of the National E-Conference, Honorable Dr. M.M. Shetkar sir. Also welcome all those dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is environmental land restoration. Now the topic is going to present, as I have mentioned, Dr. Shetkar Channappa ma'am. She is an assistant professor presently and serving at Renuka College of Education, Renapur. Now this is a very brief introduction, but madam have two knowledgeable personality. The details is also more about the madam, but I should not highlight. Now I request to you madam, please start your presentation on today's topic, environmental land restoration. You are most welcome.
Hello.
Yes madam.
Good evening. Hello,
Yes,
good evening everyone. Today is a World Environment Day. We celebrate it as a environmental day, and in this day we organize various programs such as the tree plantation, then the awareness about the environment programs, and the lessons or the workshops. And this, as it is one of the part of that our environmental day program. It's a 5th June 2024. It's a World Environment Day. The World Environment Day is celebrated from 1973, and this World Environment mainly it is formed from the biotic and the abiotic factors. The biotic factors are the plants, animals, microorganisms, and the abiotic factors, the soil, water, and the airs. The soil is the very important factor in the environment. Today, we are discussed or the main topic of my this Environment Day awareness is the environment and land restoration. Shetkar sir gives me an opportunity to put forth my knowledge and my words in front of your in a national level conference. Thank you, sir, and thank you for your whole team. A soil is the main part of the environment, and today we know that soil pollution is there, and this soil pollution is due to the also due to water pollution to the garbage, waste material, plastic material, e-material, radioactive material, burning of the garbage, and overuse of the fertilizers, pesticides, and repeated same species sowing over the factors, and due to this the soil gets unfertile and soil gets disturbed its quality, and that's why the soil gets polluted and eroded and erode. And we want to soil for the preparation or the farming the food and fruits and the crops. We needed a soil for the production of the crops. We needed a soil which is organic or the which is a fertile soil. But today's we see that all elements of the environment such as water, soil and air gets polluted due to our human being behavior or natural evidences and disasters. And that's why when the soil gets polluted due to these reasons, they affect on the food crops. When we saw any crop in a soil, at that time we got food grains and fruits, but these food grains and fruits are affected by heavy elements or the other pesticide content elements. That's why our food or the fruits get spoiled and they gives they gives a bad effect on our body. That's why we survive or we suffering for the very dangerous uh, diseases such as the cancer, liver stone, lung stone, kidney stone, artery or vein block, or the arteries and veins are toughness. That's why there is a disorder in the transfer of the blood. And that's why in 5th January 2024, the WHO World Health Organization takes a decision that firstly we want to improve the soil quality, and that's why our current or the 2024's main theme of that environment day is land restoration and drought and deforestation. The slogan of that main program is that our land and our future. We are depend on the land. That's why we call it as our land is good at that time, at our future is also good. That's why that slogan is made, our land, our future. Today we need the restore the land. How to restore the land? It is very important because land is eroded, corroded due to the various factors. We improve the fertility and the soil quality, we put forth some important points to us, or by this we want to restore the land by the following ways, such as manage garbage, manage the garbage, such as the we sort it garbage as a wheat garbage, and we make the maroon from the garbage. Second one, separate the plastic from the garbage and use that plastic for the various activities such as making roads, and also use as a raw material for the another uses. Third one is the do not burn the garbage. We see that everywhere near the metro cities, we burn the garbage. We do not aware about the burning of the garbage. That's why so many peoples burns the garbage, and this garbage produces the carbon particles in the atmosphere, and due to this the percentage of the carbon particles increases, and that affects the global warming in on the environment. That's why we see in a current situation the year 2024 is the hottest year, because there is the carbon particle, and carbon particles reflect the light on the earth. That's why there is the formation of greenhouse effect, and its causes due to the mainly for the burning of the garbage, burning of the waste material from the farms. That's why do not burn the garbage and the waste material from the farm. Balance use of the fertilizers and pesticides. Pesticides having so many heavy elements, and fertilizers having a more salty. That's why our soil becomes unfertile, or its fertility is reduced. That's why we want to reduce the use of the fertilizers and pesticides. We want to control it, the use of the fertilizers and the pesticides. Growing the trees is the most important factor. When you grow the crops and the trees on the soil, in the soil, at that time we increase the oxygen level of the atmosphere, and the our plants and the crops absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That's why there is the balance in the environmental gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen in the atmosphere. There is the distribution of the food chain. Food chains disturb due to the ecosystem. There is the ecosystem in the environment, in a soil. The soil, there are so many microorganisms. They undergo the decomposition process, and through this process, there is the formation of various gases, and the balance our nature. That's why we want to
Excuse me,
reuse.
ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Just make proper camera, Your face is looking half one. Now it's
yes, sir,
okay.
yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, now it's okay, ma'am. Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. There is the disturbances of the food chains, and that's why there is the disturbances in the ecosystem of the nature. Every animal or the every microorganisms or the plants, these are the parts of the ecosystem. When one ecosystem is collapsed, at that time all the ecosystem parts gets collapsed. That's why we want to balance the ecosystem. That's why we want to for we want to give various activities such as the tree plantation processes. There is the growth of the various vegetation of the plants, and also we want to introduce the useful bacteria in the soil, that so as they balances our soil. We use such as the waste waste decomposers. Today we use in a farms the waste decomposers. These waste decomposers are the useful bacteria, and they grow in a soil. That's why the carbon content of the soil is increases. When carbon content of the soil increases, at that time there is the increasing the good bacteria. That's why we use the waste decomposers in day-to-day life in the farms. Due to the formation of carbon content or the increase in the carbon content, when the carbon content in the soil increases, at that time the fertility of the soil is increases. That's why we need such technologies. We innovated these technologies. When we use, at that time the soil fertility increases very soonly, or within a 5 month, or within a 5 years or the 10 years. At that time the soil fertility increases, means the growth of the good microorganisms increases, means there is the reduction of the heavy elements and the reduction of the bad elements in a soil. That's why we use such a type of the technology which is innovated for the farm or the farm for the farmhouse. Use the such policies in a day-to-day life. At that time only the soil restoration, we make it as a very easily, and soil gets a balanced soil or the fertile soil which we need for the growth of the crops and the plants. Use the limited water for the crops. When you use the large amount of water for the crops, at that time our soil gets salty. That's why we reduce the utility of the water in the farm. That's why you use the new technologies such as the sprinklers and the deep drip irrigation. Through the drip irrigation and sprinklers, we increase our productivity of the soil and the fertility of the soil. In this way, we can increase the fertility of the soil when the land restoration is the important factor in our whole world, because our soil is corroded due to various manual or our natural activities. That's why for the land restoration, we want to make the healthy land. We want to support, make such a type of ecosystem which is makes the soil healthy. In this, when you make the soil healthy, at that time we make the ecosystem healthy. That's at that time only our soil gets restored. Second one is the restoring land requires diverse approaches, and the restoration depends on the land degradation and the needs the local community participation in the activities and the project which the our government or the non-government or the NGOs adopted, and these such a various activities such as the plantation or the protection and the reservation or the reserving the soil, reserving the water in a soil which makes the soil a good soil and which is a fertile soil. And in the same way, where our area which is open, that open area affects very easily. That's why such areas we convert in a agro forestry, and this is used for the production of the crops and the fruits. And that's in this way we increase the economy of the our nation and the productivity of the soil. Third one is the land degradation possesses a significant challenges worldwide. There are so many such a type of places where there is the very different, means the deforestation, unsustainable agricultural practices, urbanization, and mining. Due to these activities, a soil gets unfertile, and when we use the activities such as the forestation, agroforestry, at that time we increase the fertility of the soil and we increase the economic and the productivity of the soil. That's why where the mining or the urbanization of the land takes place, at that places we want to make the parks of various species which grows and develop the ecosystem, such as in Singapore and city there is development or there is the development of the various species storage and the various species restored and stored, and due to this there is the man-made ecosystem is established in Malaysia and Singapore, also in Peru and Cambodia. At that places also there is the deforestation takes place on that space. The planting takes place, such as the cafe or the tea plants develop or the growths, and from this they they perform their growth and the development, and they are the part of the ecosystem and the economical growth places. They these points gives a very economic use, and that's why such a places are developed by manually, and they forms such a type of the forest, and they produce or they gives their better productivity of that soil. Last one is the land restoration plays a crucial report or the role in the in the climate change. In this, we see that there are main factors such as the carbon particles, nitrogen, sulfur of the atmosphere. They take the main role in the climate change. Carbon rich soil is the healthy soil. That's why we make the soil as a carbon rich or the carbon sink. This carbon is absorbed by the plants, and plants evolve the oxygen which is useful for the human being, plant, and the various animals. The carbon which is present in the atmosphere, it is absorbed, and this absorbed carbon converts into the crops and the fruit. In this way, the carbon dioxide is utilized the production of the fruit and the crops. That's why we want to reduce the greenhouse effect, and it is helpful for the reduction of the greenhouse effect and the climate change mitigation. In this way, we overcome the environment and land restoration problem, and when we go through such a types of the processes, definitely our soil is gets fertile and increase the carbon content in the soil, means the soil becomes organic. Then only we increase the restoration of the soil. The land restoration is a ecological process to restore a nature, and this process proves the way to project our ecosystem, create economical development, help prevent natural disasters such as the flood and the drought, and increase the productivity of the soil. Land restoration is a vital if we are protect the environment, build the environment, and growing a global productivity and the soil fertility. And when we increase such a type of productivity of the soil, then only our earth stabilize and earth or the our nature becomes stable. When a better environment is the better tomorrow, and when we save earth, at that time we save our life ourselves. Earth love it and do not misuse or abuse the earth. Be green to keep it clean. We reuse, reduce, recycle, and we conserve the soil, water, and environment. Earth is the very important and useful for the for the development of the man and the animals and the species. When earth, when we love to the earth, at that time earth or the our earth saves our life. In this way, when you restore our land, then only we save our environment, we save our ecosystem, we balance our ecosystem, and then only we survive our life good and bright and productive. And then only there is the growth and development of our economic, and the productivity increases smoothly. In this way, the productivity when increases, our index, manual index increases, or GDP increases. When GDP increases, at that time our nation become a developed nation. For the developed nation, we want to need a land restoration in our nation. If you have some questions, please ask me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful explanation. on the topic environmental land restoration. You have made very, very clear the topic today, because that is the topic is related to everybody's life. If there is a pure environment, our life will definitely be pure and we will live very safely on the earth. So it is a need of the time. Everyone should protect the environment. Now I request dear participants, if you have any query, would like to share something on this occasion of World Environmental Day, please come ahead and discuss with keynote speaker. Dear participants. Shukla sir, please.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Betkar sir, Principal sir, Prashant sir, and good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation you have made. And today is 5th June and World Environment Day we are celebrating, and we have to create awareness, no doubt. So we also created awareness, not to waste water, and water conservation is one of the biggest thing what we should do now. That is one thing. And you have placed the subject very well today. And yes, definitely you'll find, because of the intrusion of the human being in the environment, ecology, it has reduced the cultivation also, it reduced the fertility of the land also. You'll find the soil washing is also very common nowadays. And you'll find the environment is you'll find erratic. You'll find in Dubai, where there was no rain any time before, now there is a flood. There is a condition like flood. And yes, definitely in Saudi Arabia, in various places, Turkey, so many places it has been happened. So one has to be very clear about this. Environment sensitivity should be there with us. Especially the new generation should understand. Nowadays also the rain, what we used to get, it was something, it was starting with a small, you'll find rain here and there, and then we were entering into the monsoon season or something like that. But nowadays, you'll find a drastic, flood and everything is there. So that is a impact, and it is because of industrialization, urbanization, and so many things. We are constructing the concrete jungles. And the deforestation is one of the very important issue what you have mentioned. So correctly you have said about this. What you think, what kind of changes we have to make, urgently on urgent ground, so that, we can preserve our environment, we can preserve our soil, and we can have, the normal seasons, because everyone depends upon the seasons, from the farmer to every business depends upon this. So what you think about this? So what kind of immediate steps, drastic steps that will produce a great impact? What you think what we should do? Long-term goals are plenty, intermediate goals are plenty, but immediate goal, which we can tell our students and, the young generation to follow. Thank you.
Ma'am, please.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are getting.
Yes. And any question, sir?
My question is, any immediate steps that we can urgently implement, as we are learning about this,
Yes,
so
sir.
many aspects, urgent steps what we can take. The long-term goals are there, but urgent, the plans when we will have, and conservation and so many things, but urgent step, what kind of urgent step we can take?
Firstly, we use the rain or any water conservation is the first thing. There is the flood and the drought. These are the very very frequently noted questions or the points. That's why when you conserve the water, there are some technologies are there. The conservation of water at that time, we say that when the soil comes or the removes with the water in a flood and the soil get uh, unfertile. That's why we want to come into use the technologies such as the use the water very normal or the reduce the water in a growth and the development of the soil or the crops, such as we use the technologies such as the sprinkler or the drip irrigation processes. At that time, we balance the or the we can't we control the we stop the saltiness of that soil and we increase the fertility of the soil. This is the one point, how to increase the fertility of the soil. Second one is we grows the plants such as the ecosystem develops. Ecosystem develops means we increase the good microorganisms in the soil, such as the new materials that the waste decomposers are in we use in a farm. They decomposes the waste materials easily. On the 2 years ago, in a sugarcane land, we burns the land or the sugarcane land. But in a current situation, we use such a type of the waste decomposers and we decompose the waste material in a soil itself within 3 months. That's why we increase the carbon level in a soil. When the carbon level in a soil increases, automatically microorganisms growth definitely twice and thrice. That's why we use such a type of technologies or the solutions and we increase the fertility in the way which we are used in a farms. The waste materials in the farms which are carbon rich particles, when you use such a type of waste materials, at that time there is the increase in the good microorganisms and they decomposes very fastly. That's why there is the increase in the carbon particles. In this way, in a short period, we can increase the fertility of the soil by using such a type of new technologies. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Another son.
शुक्ला सर लेट मी आंसर. जब आप पढ़ाई कर रहे थे शुरू से बचपन से, तो एक स्लोगन था वहाँ पे, एक कोर्स था, बहुत सारे हमारे शिक्षकों ने पढ़ाया भी, झाडे लावा झाडे जगवा.
हा सर, झाडे लावा झाडे जगवा. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट म्हणजे
पर्यावरणाचे करा रक्षण, मुलांना द्या हे शिक्षण.
म्हणजे की पाणी वाचवा, पर्यावरण वाचवा.
येस येस येस. मग हे जर आपण त्यावेळेस बघितलं असतं, केलं असतं, तर ते अर्जंट नीड आता सांगण्याची गरज नसती. कारण आता सुद्धा आपल्याला अर्जंट, लेट मी आन्सर सर, आताचे अर्जंट नीड हेच आहे की एव्हरीवन हॅव टू प्लांट द ट्री. सर, today's urgent step is that just every person have to plant a tree and protect it. Now this is also one of the urgent need.
every single drop of water. Okay, sir जी.
Okay.
एक बात बोलूं,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
झाडे लावा, झाडे
एक बात
लावा,
बोलना
आपण
चाहूंगा.
एखादा वाढदिवसाला किंवा कोणालाही आपण गिफ्ट देत असताना आपण झाडे लावा, झाडे द्या आणि त्यासोबत एखादं पुस्तक द्यायचं, जेणेकरून गुलदस्ता देण्याच्या ऐवजी आपण काय, जर झाड जर दिलं तर निश्चितच तो झाड त्याच्या घरी जाऊन लावेल आणि पुस्तक तो वाचेल. म्हणजे त्याचा विकास, विचार आणि त्याचा विकास हे दोन्हीही होणार आहे. म्हणून पुस्तक आणि झाड हे दोन्हीही गिफ्ट दिलं तर माझ्या मते खूप चांगला असा एक उपक्रम राहील.
Thank you, madam. Okay, thank you. Ramakant Gaikwad sir have raised his hand. Please ask. Gaikwad sir. ठीक आहे, नामतुरी मॅडम.
Ma'am, I would like to ask which type of plant I grow or everyone grow in at the home. Only one plant suggest you. These plants are beneficial than the other plants. You suggest now.
प्लांट आपण जो लवकर वाढणारा आहे आणि ज्याच्यामुळं आपली इकोसिस्टीम चांगली डेव्हलप होणार आहे असे प्लांट वापरणं किंवा असे प्लांट लावणं सध्याच्या काळाची गरज बनलेली आहे. लवकर वाढला पाहिजे, लवकर सावली दिला पाहिजे, फळं लवकर आली पाहिजेत आणि त्याच सोबत आपल्याला आपली इकोसिस्टीम सुद्धा डेव्हलप झाली पाहिजे. अशा प्रकारचे जर प्लांट लावले तर निश्चितच आपल्याला काय, आपण निश्चितच चांगलं एन्व्हायरमेंट निर्माण करू शकतो. आपण पुरातन काळात आपण सांगत होतो इन अवर ओल्ड एज वी औदुंबर, पिंपळ, वड, these are the trees which gives lots of oxygen or only oxygen throughout our life. That's why you grow such a type of plants on your river side or any our farm side. At that time only when we grow the plants, at that time that type of our surrounding area or the surrounding air is cooled, and due to this there is the chances of the raining of the water or the raining, that is the chances of the raining.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
चांगलं उत्तर दिलात मॅडम, आपण चांगलं एक्सप्लेन केलात. पण हल्ली काय झाले, अशी झाडं लोकांना दुर्लक्ष करू लागले, ते प्लांट करत नाहीयेत. जसं वडाचं झाड म्हणताय तुम्ही, चिंचेचं झाड गावामध्ये एक झाड असायचं आणि त्या ठिकाणी सगळा मॉब जाऊन बसायचा, म्हणजे गावातील सगळे खेडे लोक त्या ठिकाणी, खेड्यातील सगळे लोक विश्रांती घ्यायचे. परंतु आता ते झाड मात्र केवळ नावालाच राहिलेले आहेत, कुणी प्लांट वगैरे करत नाहीत. असं आहे, फक्त लावतात काय कॅक्टस सारखे वाढणारे जे कुंडीमध्ये झाडं आहेत. येस मॅडम, येस.
तुलसी इज द बेस्ट आहे. We grow the tulsi in 1 or not in 1 pot, in 100 and 10 pots. है ना?
Best suggestion, Maya madam, I think you would get from the ma'am. So thank you, Sonu Kumar sir. Please ask your question in short.
हमारी आवाज जा रही है?
आ रही है सर, बोलिए, शॉर्ट में बोलिए.
सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आज पर्यावरण दिवस है और मैम का लेक्चर मैं किसी के किंतु परंतु नेटवर्क इश्यूज के कारण उतना अच्छा से सुन नहीं पाया हूँ, मगर मैं बाहर आ गया, मार्केट निकलना पड़ा नेटवर्क इश्यूज के कारण. आज बेदकर सर को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है कि आज पर्यावरण दिवस के अवसर पर सर ने ये कार्यक्रम को करवाया. 1 घंटे की सेशन को सर ने आज बढ़ाने का प्रयास किया और बहुत जरूरी भी था कि क्योंकि पर्यावरण दिवस हम लोग तो साल में मनाते हैं और आए दिन हम लोग सोशल मीडिया पर एक चीज देखते हैं कि लोग पेड़ लगाते हुए नजर पड़ते हैं. मैम पेड़ का फोटो खींच लेते हैं और उसको बाद सोशल मीडिया पर लगाते हैं और हर एक साल की यही कहानी होती है, मगर एक मगर मैं जब वो पीछे जाए तो मुझे 1 साल पहले जो पौधा लगाए हैं उसकी एक भी तस्वीर देखने को नसीब नहीं होती है कि वो कितना अच्छा से वो पला बढ़ा, कितना कहाँ है वो पेड़ जो मैंने 1 साल पहले लगाया। तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग प्रकृति के साथ छेड़छाड़ तो हम लोग कर ही रहे हैं और जरूरत से ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, और इसका खमियाजा आज आए दिन हमें देखने को भी मिलता है किसी ना किसी रूप में। और मुझे लगता है कि पर्यावरण दिवस के अवसर पर सबसे ज्यादा सचेत होने की इस बात की जरूरत है कि लोग जो दिनचर्या अपने जीवन शैली में लोग जो जीते हैं उसी में अगर किसी तरह का सुधार कर लेते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि पर्यावरण दिवस की सार्थकता सामने नजर आएगी। क्योंकि जो दिनचर्या हमारा है, लोग ये समझते हैं अगर आप अवेयरनेस करना चाहेंगे पर्यावरण के प्रति तो लोग जो है ना वो करना नहीं चाहते हैं। लोग उस चीज को और हंसी का पात्र बनाते हैं, ये क्या कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये सब करने से बेहतर है कि मुझे खुद में ही सुधार लाने की आवश्यकता है। अपने दिनचर्या में छोटी छोटी चीजों को पकड़ करके उसे सुधार करने की आवश्यकता है। जब छोटे छोटे चीजों को हम पकड़ेंगे, छोटे छोटे चीजों को की कमी को अगर हम अंदाज ना करके उस पर ध्यान देंगे तो मुझे लगता है बहुत कुछ बेहतर किया जा सकता है। और अच्छा लगा मैम, आपने अपने बहुत सारी महत्वपूर्ण बातों को अपने अवगत करवाया। और 7 बजे से लेकर हम लोग लगातार सर के साथ जुड़ते हैं और आज 1 घंटे के सेशन पर्यावरण दिवस के रूप में समर्पित किया गया और आप रिसोर्स पर्सन के तौर पर यहाँ मौजूद रही। मैं इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा। और बेदकर सर, इस पीड़ा को उठाने के लिए मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया कि आपने आप इस ज्ञान की यज्ञ को प्रत्येक दिन चला रहे हैं, मगर आप आज विशेष तौर पर पर्यावरण दिवस के प्रति आपने सजगता और सजग होकर के इसके लिए एक सेशन रखा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। क्योंकि सेशन कोई भी दिवस एक दिन का नहीं होता है, वो हर दिन का होता है। बस हम लोग उसे सोचने और समझने की जरूरत है। बहुत बहुत
धन्यवाद सोन कुमार सर फॉर द अप्रिशिएशन। थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ हमारे प्रिंसिपल सर को अनुरोध करता हूं कि इस सेशन का कंक्लूड करें। ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर एम अम्बेडकर प्लीज। Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now I move towards the vote of thanks. Sri Kumar Swami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra State is organized National E-Conference For today's session on the dais was Honorable Dr.Shetkar Hirkan ma'am, who explained the topic now environmental land restoration. And ma'am have covered all the details, covered all the aspects regarding the topic, tree plantations, awareness programs, then the effects of pollutions, then different elements of environment, and also how to restore the land, then degradation of lands, and how the land restoration plays vital role in the climate change. All those details, all the points you have made very, very clear, madam. The expression power is so great. So you have explained it very nicely in a sincere way, sincere manner. So I'm very, very thankful to you on behalf of the organizing committee members. You spared your valuable time to the series. So thanks a lot once again. I also thank the chief organizer of the series, our ideal principal, Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. Then especially thanks Maya ma'am, Ravi Kant Gaikwad sir, Shukla sir, my dear friend Sonu Kumar sir, for the nicely interaction and appreciation of the session. So thank you so much. And I should not forget all those sweet participants who join the series regularly. Kind request everyone, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So with the kind permission of chief organizer, I declare today's session is over and wish you all the best on the occasion World Environment Day. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Hirkan ma'am. Thank you so much.